Oh, yeah. Alright, today we are going to react to the most complicated sci-fi movie ever created. As far as I can remember, maybe I don't remember when, but I watched this video and it broke my brain. Now we are going to revisit this sci-fi movie called Primer. I don't remember much from that video. I watched this explanation video like long time ago. Today we are not going to watch the full movie because let's not ruin the movie. Let's go and the explanation. All right.
In 2004, a low-budget science fiction film took Sundance by storm.
Okay.
Primer is quite possibly the most complex time travel film ever made.
Before I start, I also watched The Stalker. It's great, but I still don't understand. Anyway, the first time I watched this movie Primer, there was a like big hype back in the day, and it was like really confusing at first. Then I tried to watch it one more time. I couldn't, like, I kind of figured it out, but you know, like Inception. Are they in a dream or are they not? But this movie is like is really like complicated. So yeah, I should get like pen and paper.
With multiple timelines, multiple doubles, and dishonesty between the key players.
Okay.
Filmmaker and former engineer Steve Carruth determinedly refused to dumb down the dialogue to make the film easier to decipher. Instead, he decided to trust that his audience would return to the film again and again in order to fully understand it. Today, I've decided to take a closer look at Primer and break it all down. Obviously, I'm going to assume you've already seen this film and are reasonably familiar with the events that take place within the story. Two friends, Abe and Aaron, have inadvertently invented time travel, and they initially intend to use their time machine to make money on the stock market. If they follow a few simple rules, everything should work out fine. But over the course of only a handful of days, they deceive each other, create multiple timelines and doubles, and in short, mess things up pretty royally for themselves. The key to understanding Primer is to focus on the people and things that matter and discard everything else. So with that in mind, let's familiarize ourselves with the characters in this story and decide who to pay attention to. There is Abe and Aaron, who have discovered time travel, so they are obviously very important. There is Robert and Philip. They are colleagues and friends of Abe and Aaron, but they aren't let in on the secret of time travel and have little to no real effect on the story. Similarly, you can dismiss Kara and Lainey, who are Aaron's wife and daughter respectively. They too don't affect the story in any major way. Then there is Rachel Granger. She is Abe's love interest, although Abe seems to only be using her to get close to her wealthy father, Mr. Granger, who Abe hopes will invest money into his and his friends' inventions. Although Mr. Granger's first appearance in the film is fleeting, he turns out to be quite important to the story.
Was he? I know, like, when like Abe give the instruction to the third guy, he mess up the timeline and the domino effect. Was he like anyway?
Rachel has a crazy
I totally
ex-boyfriend
forgot.
who still holds a torch for her. In fact, in the film, Aaron attends a party where the ex turns up and threatens Rachel with a shotgun. Luckily, Aaron was a hero and successfully disarmed the ex-boyfriend. The incident at the party is a pivotal moment in the film. And finally, we have the character of Platt. Platt is never actually seen in the film, but he is referred to several times. Both Abe and Aaron dislike him because in the past he cheated them out of a successful invention and went on to make a lot of money for himself. Aaron mentions in the film how he would very much like to punch Platt in the face.
This is what I would do. I would wake up tomorrow morning and I'd go over to Gabriel Capital Inc. And I would tell Joseph Platt's receptionist that I'm there to see him. And when he comes out, I would ram my fist through the flat of his nose. Just one good punch, one good pow.
Platt and Aaron's desire to punch him is also important to the story, so remember him and remember the punch. In summary, the important characters and incidents in the film are Abe and Aaron, Rachel, her ex-boyfriend and the incident at the party, Rachel's father Mr. Granger, Platt, and Abe and Aaron's desire to punch him. So let's talk about how this time machine works. I'll call it the box from now on, as that's how it's referred to in the film. The box must be switched on at the time you want to travel back in time to. Rachel, her ex-boyfriend and the incident at the party, Rachel's father Mr. Granger, Platt, and Abe and Aaron's desire to punch him. So let's talk about how this time machine works. I'll call it the box from now on, as that's how it's referred to in the film. The box must be switched on at the time you want to travel back in time to. So this means if you wanted to time travel back to Monday morning at 9 AM, you will first need to turn the box on at Monday morning 9 AM. As Abe was the first person to figure out how the box works, let's do a walkthrough of an example of his first time traveling journey. On Monday morning, Abe switches on the box at 9 AM. Abe then goes to a hotel room and locks himself away. The reason why Abe holds himself away in the hotel room is because he does not want to influence the world in any way during the next few hours. Abe then finds out what stocks have gone up in that day. He will use this knowledge to make money on the markets when he repeats the day after time traveling back. At 3 PM, Abe decides he's ready to travel back in time and he enters the box. The yellow line is our timeline and its length indicates roughly what.
Oh my god. What?
Then goes to a hotel room and locks himself away. The reason why Abe holds himself away in the hotel room is because he does not want to influence the world in any way during the next few hours.
He wants to be isolated. So he turned on the time machine, he went into a hotel room. He doesn't want to influence any of the thing, and
Abe then finds out what stocks have gone up in that day. He will use this knowledge to make money on the markets when he repeats the day after
time travel at that
back.
moment?
At 3 PM, Abe decides he's ready to travel back in time and he enters the box. The yellow line is our timeline and its length indicates roughly what time the event or incident we are talking about happens during the day. Abe then spends 6 hours in the box traveling back in time to 9 AM that morning. So now that Abe has traveled back...
now that Abe has traveled back to the Monday, 9 AM, now he knows what happened throughout the day. So
It's Monday morning, take 2. At 9 AM, there are 2 Abes in existence at the same time. The one who is switching on the box and heading to the hotel, and the one who has just emerged from the box. To differentiate them, let's call the original Abe Abe 0 and the double who has just emerged from the box Abe 1. While Abe 0 is hiding away in the hotel, Abe 1 plays the stock markets. Abe 0 is hiding because both the Abes know that as they share one identity, they can't both go around influencing the world at the same time. So while Abe 1 uses his stock market knowledge to make money, Abe 0 tries to eliminate his influence on the world by hiding away. There can't be 2 Abes in existence forever, but that's not a problem. When Monday 3 PM hits once again, Abe 0 will get in the box to begin his journey back to 9 AM, essentially disappearing into the past. Meanwhile, Abe 1 will continue to progress forward. Before
Oh my god. Dude, what? Really? Oh my god, let's go through with this.
Before any time traveling took place in the film, Abe Zero realized that there was a chance he or Aaron could cause havoc with timelines and their futures. So he took the precaution of creating a failsafe box. This failsafe box is another time traveling box that was switched on early Monday morning, say 5 AM. Abe Zero hid this failsafe box away and kept it in case things went horribly wrong. If there was an emergency, a future Abe, let's dub him Abe F for the purposes of the illustration, could use this failsafe box at any time.
What
He
happened
could
to
go all
Abe
the way
1?
back to Monday morning before he had ever started to time travel, and prevent Abe Zero from entering the box in the first place. If that set of circumstances were to play out, there would result in two Abes being present in the same timeline at the same time. So future Abe, who has come back to stop all the time traveling, and Abe Zero, who has yet to start time traveling, are present in the same instance. This of course creates a problem. They can't go about living a life with one identity between them. If a future Abe had to come back to the very beginning, one of the Abes would have to disappear and create an entirely new life for themselves. So now that we have established how time travel works, let's unravel the series of events in Primer as they unfold. A few liberties will be taken here to make it easier to explain. First, all the times will be rounded off, and second, there will be a few assumptions with regards to what happens during some periods which are not shown in the film. Because as anyone who has seen the film will know, not everything that matters to the story is shown. Some incidents are only alluded to. And finally, in this breakdown, I have assumed the minimum number of time traveling journeys necessary for all the events to fit. So with all of that being said, let's follow Abe and Aaron from Monday through to Friday. Monday, 5 AM. Abe Zero turns on the failsafe box and leaves it hidden away. 9 AM. Abe Zero turns on the box he will be using to time travel back to Monday 9 AM. Abe Zero spends the rest of the day holed up in a hotel. 3 PM. Abe Zero returns to the box and climbs in. He is going to travel back to the morning. After 6 hours in the box, Abe emerges, but this time he is Abe 1.
Abe 1.
It is 9 AM on Monday morning once again, and Abe 1 will be able to live out the next 6 hours once more, while Abe Zero is on his way to the hotel where he will hide out. Abe 1 makes his way to Aaron, who is sitting on a bench apparently listening to March Madness. Abe 1 reveals all to his friend. As Aaron will begin time traveling pretty soon, let's call him Aaron Zero. During the day, Abe 1 slowly introduces Aaron Zero to the concept of time traveling. In between all of this, at some point, Aaron Zero plays basketball with a friend and invites him to a party later that night, and also tells him to bring along Rachel's ex, as she will be there. At 3 PM, Abe 1 takes Aaron Zero to the place where he keeps the time traveling boxes, and they witness Abe Zero just as he is getting ready to go into the box to begin his journey to the past. Later that evening, Aaron Zero attends a party he invited his friend to earlier in the day. Abe 1 is not present, and in the film we don't actually see what took place at the party, but from later conversations.
So, let me get this straight. It's Monday. That is the fail box. You gotta turn on the 9 AM machine. You get on it. Abe Zero. Yeah. You go back to 3 PM. Throw out the whole thing. Go back to the hotel, and then
We understand that at the party, Rachel's volatile ex threatened people with a shotgun, and Aaron Zero managed to disarm him. Tuesday. Aaron Zero has decided he also wants to time travel and make money on the stock markets. So at 9 AM, both Abe 1 and Aaron Zero switch on their boxes and hole away at a hotel. At 3 PM, Abe 1 and Aaron Zero get into their boxes and time travel back to 9 AM that same morning.
Then
They emerge from their boxes as Abe 2 and Aaron 1.
1.
It is Tuesday 9 AM once again. While Abe 1 and Aaron 0 once more make their way to the hotel,
Yeah.
Abe 2 and Aaron 1 make money on the stock markets. Once 3 PM hits, Abe 1 and Aaron 0 get into their boxes and disappear into the past, and Abe 2 and Aaron 1 go back to living their lives. And now here's where it's going to get complicated.
Oh my god.
Aaron 1 has found out about the failsafe, but has kept quiet about his knowledge. And at some point on Tuesday, Aaron 1 decides that he needs to use the failsafe and go back to Monday morning once more. Now the reason for this seems to be about Rachel's ex. It appears that Aaron 1 is not satisfied with the outcome of the party. He believes the ex is still a danger and presumably wants to come back in order to deal with the ex more effectively. So Aaron 1 uses a failsafe box and returns to Monday morning 5 AM. He emerges as Aaron 2. Aaron 2 sets up 2 disassembled time-traveling boxes he has brought back with him. He immediately switches them on. One is for him and one is for Abe. These boxes will allow them to come back once more to Monday 5 AM should they need to. Aaron 2 plans to replay and record the day in order to repeat Monday as often as he needs to, in order to get rid of the ex for good. But there is a serious repercussion to Aaron 2's plan. On Monday morning 5 AM, he exists at the same time as Aaron 0, who at this point is blissfully unaware of anything related to time travel, as Abe 1 has not had his conversation with Aaron 0 yet. In order to make sure that Aaron 2 can go through Monday and record all of the pivotal conversations, Aaron 2 needs to knock Aaron 0 out of the equation and take over his identity. He does this by drugging his breakfast and storing Aaron 0 away in his attic. At 9 AM, Abe 1 returns to Monday 9 AM, while Abe 0 holds away at the hotel. Aaron 2 waits for Abe 1 to meet him at the bench. Remember the first time we ran through Monday?
Yeah, he played basketball.
Aaron 0 appeared to be listening to March Madness. Well, guess what? He wasn't. He was actually recording his conversation with Abe 1. The Aaron 0 we thought we saw was actually Aaron 2 in the film. In fact, we never really saw the very first time Abe 1 talked to Aaron 0 about time travel. We only see the version where Aaron 2 has come back and is recording their conversation. Abe 1 and Aaron 2 then live out Monday once again. Aaron 2 again invites his friend and Rachel's ex to the party that will be held later that night. At 3 PM, they once more watch as Abe 0 gets into the box. And in the evening, Aaron 2 once again attends the party where he disarms Rachel's ex. The following day, Tuesday. At 9 AM,
There is one Abe in the attic.
Abe 1 and Aaron 2 switch on the boxes and hole away in a hotel and wait for 3 PM. At 3 PM, they time travel back to Tuesday 9 AM, becoming Abe 2 and Aaron 3. As Abe 1 and Aaron 2 hole away in the hotel, Abe 2 and Aaron 3 play the markets. At 3 PM, Abe 1 and Aaron 2 enter the boxes and disappear into the past. Abe 2 and Aaron 3 go home to spend the evening hanging out at Aaron 3's house. There they discuss the implications of time travel with Aaron 3's wife in a roundabout way. This is when Aaron 3 confesses how much he would love to experience punching Platt in the face just once, and then he would go back in time and tell himself not to do it. Abe 2 is concerned about the idea because it would mean Aaron 3 speaking with his double, and they simply don't understand the repercussions that would come from that. During this conversation, Aaron 3's wife mentions hearing rats in the attic, and Aaron 3 brushes it off. Those rats are in fact Aaron 0, who is still trapped in the attic.
Yep.
At this point, it's not clear what Aaron 3 intends to do with Aaron 0. As we have previously discussed, both can't exist in the same time frame indefinitely.
Did you call pest control?
Babe, they're birds. You don't want a bunch of dead baby birds up there, do you?
They don't sound like birds.
She thinks there are rats in the attic.
Wednesday. At 9 AM, Abe 2 and Aaron 3 switch on their boxes, and as is becoming routine for them, they hold themselves away in a hotel room. They discuss the fact that Aaron 3 has not revealed anything to his wife, and interestingly, Aaron 3 mentions that he might fly himself and his family away to Costa Rica. Is this a clue to Aaron 3's ultimate
Oh my god.
plan? Is he intending to take his family away and leave Aaron 0 in the attic? It's not clear, but it could be a possibility. At 3 PM, Abe 2 and Aaron 3 return to their boxes, and make the trip back to 9 a.m. that morning, becoming
Okay.
Abe 3 and Aaron 4.
Monday,
Back
Tuesday,
at 9
Wednesday.
a.m., Abe 2 and Aaron 3 are on their way to the hotel, and Abe 3 and Aaron 4 play the markets as usual. That particular day, a troubling thing happens to Aaron 4. He starts bleeding from his ear.
Oh.
This is presumably because time travel has a bad effect on the time traveler. Aaron 4 by this point has time traveled multiple times. At 3 p.m. their doubles Abe 2 and Aaron 3 go into their boxes, and Abe 3 and Aaron 4 continue about their business. Later that same day, Abe 3 learns of the Monday night party incident and he berates Aaron 4 for risking his life in that manner. Thursday. At 9 a.m., Abe 3 and Aaron 4 switch on their boxes and make their way to the hotel. There, Aaron 4 receives and takes a call from his wife. This is a problem. Both Abe 3 and Aaron 4 want to have as little effect on the world around them as possible from the
My
time of switching
God.
on their boxes to entering them. Abe 3 comes up with a solution. If Aaron 4 makes sure not to take his phone back with him to Thursday morning when he becomes Aaron 5, everything will be okay. They figured the next instance when Aaron 4's wife calls, the double in the hotel room will pick up and have the same conversation that Aaron 4 has just had. At 3 p.m, Abe 3 and Aaron 4 get into their boxes and emerge as Abe 4 and Aaron 5 on Thursday morning. Back at 9 a.m, Abe 3 and Aaron 4 are on their way to the hotel, and Abe 4 and Aaron 5 play the markets as usual. But foolishly, Aaron 5 has brought his phone with him, so when his phone rings, they realize that Aaron 4, who is holed up in the hotel room, has not received the call as they had meant him to. They have broken symmetry and are a little frightened of the repercussions, but there is nothing immediate that happens, so they calm down. At 3 p.m, their doubles Abe 3 and Aaron 4 go into their boxes, and Abe 4 and Aaron 5 continue about their business. Friday. On Friday, Abe 4 and Aaron 5's routine changes because Abe 4 is woken by some children playing about with car alarms at 3 a.m. in the morning. There are two things that have been playing on Abe 4's mind. First, the conversation between him and Aaron 3 back on Tuesday about punching Platt in the face, and second, the breaking of symmetry that happened with the phone call on Thursday. Abe has secretly been turning on the time-traveling boxes at 5 p.m. in the evenings. So the previous day on Thursday 5 p.m, he turned on the boxes. At 3 a.m. on Friday, Abe 4 comes up with a plan. If he and Aaron 5 go to Platt's house now and punch him in the face, they can use the boxes to return to 5 p.m. on Thursday evening, emerging as Abe 5 and Aaron 6. They can then hide away until 3 a.m. Friday morning and scare away the kids from playing with the car alarms, which will in turn prevent his double from waking up and coming up with the plan of punching Platt in the face. This way they can kill two birds with one stone, experience the pleasure of punching Platt in the face, and test what happens if symmetry is broken. So that's the plan, but it doesn't quite pan out. Let's go back to Friday 3 a.m. when Abe 4 is woken and had the original idea of punching Platt. As he and Aaron 5 are traveling to Platt's house, they spot Mr. Granger. Earlier that day, Aaron 5 had seen Mr. Granger with a cleanly shaven face, but that evening Mr. Granger seems to be sporting around 3 days worth of growth, and he looks disheveled and unkempt. To their panic, Abe 4 and Aaron 5 realize that Granger has somehow found out about the time-traveling boxes and has used one. This scares Abe 4 so much that he decides it's time to use his original failsafe, or what he thinks is his original failsafe. Remember that Aaron 2 actually replaced Abe's failsafe. Abe 4 plans to go back on Monday and stop Abe 0 and who he thinks is Aaron 0 from ever time traveling in the first place. Aaron 5 independently also decides to go back to Monday morning too. Although he doesn't know for certain why Granger has come back, he puts it down to something to do with Rachel and her ex. He decides to go back on Monday and really ensure that the ex gets locked up for good, rather than just being disarmed. So once again, we are back on Monday morning. 5 a.m. Aaron 5, who entered the failsafe on Friday night, emerges as Aaron 6. He then goes to his apartment where Aaron 2 has already taken care of Aaron 0 by putting him in the attic. He and Aaron 2 fight, but Aaron 6 is unable to overpower Aaron 2 and instead the two Aarons talk. Aaron 6 explains that he has already recorded all the conversations of the day, that he has already disarmed Rachel's crazy ex, but that something went wrong in the future that has caused Granger to start traveling back in time. Aaron 6 tells Aaron 2 that he needs to really ensure that Rachel's ex is actually locked up. There are now 3 Aarons in the same timeline. Aaron 0 in the attic, Aaron 2 and Aaron 6. Aaron 2 comes to realize that Aaron 6 is more invested in the plan, and so he leaves. Meanwhile, Abe 4, who entered his failsafe
What the fuck do you mean he leaves?
on Friday night, emerges as Abe 5. Abe 5 then goes to Abe 0, gasses him and stashes him in the bathroom to make sure he doesn't do any time traveling. There are now 2 Abes in the same timeline. Abe 5 and Aaron 6 meet up at the bench as they did that very first Monday, but this time an extremely exhausted Abe 5 faints and the time for putting everything out on the table has come. Aaron 6 tells Abe 5 everything he has done, the additional time traveling, the setting up of different failsafe boxes, and trying to fix things at the party. Just as he has done every Monday prior to this final Monday, Aaron 6 plays basketball with his friend and invites him and Rachel's ex to the party later that day. Aaron 6 manages to convince Abe 5 to agree to help him with Rachel's crazy ex, and they both attend the party on Monday night, and at last they are successful in fixing things at the party. The next morning, after Aaron 6 has a good night's sleep and Abe 5 spends all night contemplating what has happened, they make their way to the airport. Aaron 6 is going to leave and make a new life for himself. Aaron 0, who is locked away in the attic, will presumably be found and allowed to continue on in relative ignorance. Abe 5 decides that he's going to stay and ensure that Abe 0 doesn't begin time traveling at all. Aaron 6 thinks his attempts will be futile, and the two argue, with Aaron 6 making a dig about Abe 5 coveting his family. The two friends separate, their relationship irreparably damaged. It seems obvious that time traveling causes damage to the body. This is evidenced by Aaron 4's ear beginning to bleed, Abe 5 passing out, and both Aaron's and Abe's noticing that their handwriting deteriorates. One theory as to why their handwriting suffers so badly can be traced back to the day Aaron and Abe are playing around with the box in the garage before any time traveling has taken place. They both place their hands above the box, and in that moment, their hands may have traveled back in time, while the rest of their bodies remained in the present. As a result, their hands may be a few moments behind the rest of their bodies, causing their hands to be out of sync, and this in turn translates into their inability to write properly. The voiceover narration that we hear is that of Aaron 2, who left the story on that final Monday morning after his fight and following conversation with Aaron 6. Aaron 2 felt he owed Aaron 0, who he drugged and locked in the attic, some kind of explanation, and that is the purpose of his phone call.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to read this, and you're going to listen, and you're going to stay on the line, and you're not going to interrupt, you're not going to speak for any reason. Some of this you know, but I'm going to start at the top of the page.
This is why Aaron 2 is unable to relay accurately what happened at the party on that final Monday night. It was Aaron 6 who attended it, along with Abe 5. In the final moments of the film, we see Aaron 2 in a foreign country, and not having learnt his lesson, he seems to be in the process of building a much larger box. So that concludes my explanation and analysis of Primer, arguably the most challenging time travel film ever made. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me